Hi, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mayor Billy Knight. Now, I know that everybody pretty much have been wondering what's going on in the city with our police department, and I know that. I'm aware of that, and I'm sensitive to that, but I didn't want to get ahead of myself. You know, our police chief has resigned, got his letter on the 24th, and there were certain things that he wanted in his resignation, and we've been working through that with both attorneys, and so we finally got that behind us, and now we're ready to move forward. So this is where we are with that, is that this week, which is, I'm taping this week, which is the 1st of October. So on the 2nd of October, we're going to be interviewing for an interim chief that we hope to have them on the ground for early part of next week to provide leadership for the police department while we then search for a full-time chief. Now, we started advertisement already for a full-time chief. We got a lot of good response from that. So we're hoping this will take 45 days at the most that we'll have a chief, you know, on the ground here in Moss Point. And we're going to use a different approach, but we're going to give you a chance to chime in on the chief and who we get, so you can have some input on that. So just stay tuned for that. So we're going to keep you informed by the process. Well, that's where we are now. We advertised for the position. We're going to be interviewing this week for interim chief, and they'll be starting on part of next week, if not Monday, and they'll provide leadership. And we're going to wait to get these applications in, and we'll have a team put together, other chiefs on the Gulf Coast. We'll make up that team to interview the prospective chiefs that we'll have, and they will make a reduction to me and the board, and we'll make a choice on that. But we're going to make a way, find a way to get you involved in the community in that communication about who our chief ought to be. Because we know the chief is going to be responsible to the community, and we want the community to be involved in helping us make that decision. I want our community to realize that the county is very supportive of what we're doing. The county has always been our partner in what we're doing here, because the county, that's what they do. They're here to partner with all of our cities, not just Moss Point, but all of our cities. And I met with them on last Monday, the Board of Supervisors and our leader of our supervisors, Supervisor Ennis Morris, and the sheriff. Mr. Ledbetter is very supportive of what we're doing. And all of the men, the supervisors, and the sheriff says, Mayor, what do you need? You know, whatever you need, we're here to help you get through this situation. All they want to know is how many people that we needed to designate, dedicate to the city of Moss Point. So we're working through those, and the interim chiefs will immediately meet with the sheriff to work out the details of what that personnel number would be, the areas in which they will patrol, to make sure that we got the coverage in our community that we ought to have, so that our citizens will be safe. Another thing we have planned is that the state is also prepared to come in to help us just with our drug issues. You know, when I first came in office, we had a lot of drugs all over our city. Well, we invited the State Department of Safety to come in with the drug task. And they was here for 2 weeks that you didn't know about, but they was here for 2 weeks, and they saturated our community to get our drugs, get the drugs out of here. Well, they're prepared to do the same thing now. So our sheriff and our city police would just be able to police the streets, but they would take care of the drug issues if we need that to happen. I want our businesses to feel safe, that you don't have to worry about whether you're going to be able to have control and patrolmen around your businesses. Particularly out there on Highway 63, we want you to be comfortable with that, to know that we're going to have patrolmen out there to make sure your property and your inventory is being watched every night. So please know that we're here on the job and we're taking care of that, and we're concerned about your behavior. So just know that we're here on the job, and we're going to have a department going forward that we all can feel good about. And I want you all to realize that this community will be safe, and we're going to have a department that's going to be bigger and better than it was before. Have a good day.